Good morning to your students, and this is Rupesh here, and I'm going to teach you today the relation between the zeros of the polynomial, right? The relation between the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. So let us understand what is the meaning of this. So suppose there is a polynomial, say a general quadratic polynomial, that is ax square plus bx plus c, right? So this is the general quadratic polynomial. I am taking the zeros of this polynomial as alpha and beta. Say I'm taking the zeros as alpha and beta. Let the zeros of this quadratic polynomial be alpha and beta. Now if alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial, then naturally x minus alpha will be one of the factor of the polynomial and the other factor will be x minus beta. These two are going to be the factors of the polynomial. And when we find out the zeros of the polynomial, sometime it happens that there is a constant term which we can take common, and when it goes to the opposite side, if suppose suppose k is multiplied to ax square plus bx plus c, right? And you are finding out the zeros of the polynomial. What will happen? This k is going to go that side and it will get cancelled out, and then the uh, polynomial will become ax square plus bx plus c while solving the zeros. So I'm going to take that constant as k. I don't know if the value of the constant is 1, that can be equal to 1 as well, but there will be some constant, right? So I'm taking the constant as k. So what I'm taking here is that I am considering a polynomial that is ax square plus bx plus c, that is a general quadratic polynomial, and I am taking alpha and beta to be the zeros of this polynomial. Then naturally x minus alpha and x minus beta are going to be the factors of the polynomial, and this k is a constant term here, right? So when you are going to multiply the factors, that is x minus alpha into x minus beta, and when we are going to multiply this by k, that is the constant term, we are going to get the polynomial, isn't it? Because I'm doing it in the reverse order, because when we find out the zeros of the polynomial, what we get in the last, we get the factors, right? So here I'm taking the factors and I'm multiplying finding out the product of the factors, and I'm multiplying it with k, so I'll get the polynomial afterwards. So let's multiply these. So that will be x into x will be x square minus this will be minus beta x, then alpha into x minus, that will be minus alpha x, and that will be plus alpha beta. Is it clear? Right. So now what is going to happen, that is will become k, and here it will be x square. Let us take minus x common, so it will be minus alpha plus beta will become of positive, and x will be here, and then it will be plus alpha beta. Is it clear? Now let's multiply k to it, then it will become kx square minus k times alpha plus beta x plus alpha, oh sorry, that is k times alpha beta. Is it clear? Since these alpha and beta were the zeros of the polynomial, that is ax square plus bx plus c, then and the factors, that is x minus alpha and x minus beta, were the factors of this polynomial, and k was the constant of which I have taken from this particular polynomial. So what I have achieved at last, that this polynomial which I have achieved should be equal to this one. This polynomial and this polynomial is going to remain the same. So now let's compare the polynomial. So when we are comparing the coefficient of x square, then coefficient of x square is k in this one, and here it is a, so a will be equal to k, isn't it? And the coefficient of x is b here, and it will be minus k times alpha plus beta, so b is going to be minus k times alpha plus beta, isn't it? And c is going to be equal to, that is the constant term, that is k times alpha beta. Is it clear? Now I am taking the value of a as k, or the k as a, right? And I'll substitute the value of k here in this second one. So here this is our first equation, say this is our second equation, and let's see this is the third equation, and let us substitute the value of k from first equation in the second one. So it will be b is equal to minus a times alpha plus beta, isn't it? Now I'm taking that minus a that side, so it will become b upon minus a is equal to alpha plus beta, or you can simply write it alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a. So what we have got here is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a. Similarly, what we are going to do, we are going to substitute the value of k from equation 1 in equation 3, right? So it will be c is equal to a times alpha plus alpha into beta, right? So let's take this a this side, so c upon a is alpha beta, or you can simply write it this way, that alpha into beta is equal to c upon a. So from here we have derived, or we have come to one conclusion. We have derived the relation between the zeros of the polynomial. What we have derived here is the relation between the zeros of the polynomial. What is that relation? That the sum of the zeros of the polynomial is minus b upon a, and the product of the zeros of the polynomial is c upon a. If alpha and beta are the zeros of any quadratic polynomial, then alpha plus beta is minus b upon a, and alpha into beta is c upon a. Is it clear? Let's check it out once again. That if suppose you are provided with a polynomial, say ax square plus bx plus c, this is a quadratic polynomial, and here in this quadratic polynomial, if alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial, then alpha plus beta is minus b upon a, and alpha into beta is c upon a. Is it clear? So this is the relation between the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. Similarly, you can derive the relation between the zeros of the polynomial of a cubic equation. Say if I am taking a general cubic equation, that is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, right? I am taking a cubic polynomial, general cubic polynomial is ax cube plus bx plus bx square plus cx plus d, right? Now here the relation you can derive, you can take three, because here it is a cubic equation, there will be three zeros. Say I am taking the first zero as alpha, the second zero as beta, and the third zero as gamma. In the similar way you can derive this relation also, but I am not deriving it here, I am directly telling you the relation. That is, here from while solving this, you will get alpha plus beta plus gamma. Alpha plus beta plus gamma is minus b upon a, and the product of sum of the product of the zeros taken two at a time, that is alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha, will be equal to c upon a, okay? And finally alpha, beta and gamma, it is going to be d upon a, minus d upon a. So for the cubic polynomial, the relation between the zeros is going to be like this, that is alpha plus beta plus gamma is minus b upon, that is the sum of the zeros is minus b upon a. The sum of the zeros taken two at a time, that is alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha is c upon a, and the product of the zeros, and this is the sum of the product of the zeros taken two at a time, and this is the product of the zeros minus d upon a. So this is basically, this is the relation between the zeros of the polynomial of a cubic polynomial, relation between the zeros of the cubic polynomial, and earlier what I have taught you was the relation between the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. So this was this is basically in your syllabus, and now we will be in our next video lecture, we will be doing the questions related with the topic which I have right now taught you. So dear students, till then, bye bye. I'll meet you in the next lecture, where I'm going to bring the questions related to this particular topic. Is it clear? So stay home, stay safe and stay tuned, so that you can get all the video lectures and you can understand the concept well. Till then, bye bye.